All right, everybody out there, how you doing tonight? Wow, another exciting day in crypto here with our sideways action. So let's take a look at our chart right here, and let me tell you what I see. I see this, just a big moving sideways. Just this is all we're doing. We're just doing a lot of this action right here. So this is a lot of indecision that's happening right here as we just kind of moved sideways right here. Just had this lateral movement. So this lateral movement to me shows a lot of weakness in this trend that was trying to break up. Right? I mean, we clearly were coming up here trying to make this and turn this into a secondary impulse wave. So the way we counted this, kind of A, B, C up to here, and you could kind of get a, it depends on how you got in here, really dug in and counted, 2, 3, you know. I did still expect to get a little bit higher. So once again, I had shorts, we had our targets, we had everything layered up here. I did have things layered up higher. I still was expecting to get up here a little bit higher. The volume was definitely an issue. So, you know, let's pull up our daily volume first and foremost. So let's pop up the volume here, see how we're looking. All right, so where did we close out? All right, so when we look down here at our volume, one of the things that I'm looking for right here is, see, we're kind of get these trends. You see how this dips lower right here? See this dip, it kind of gradually drops down. Look, it does the same thing here, gradually drops down. Kind of same thing, gradually drops down right there, and it's a little harder to see right there behind the thing. Gradually drops down. So what I see is I kind of see a little bit of a trend going on with the volume, right? And this is one thing I kind of been keeping my eye on. Now, the volume is considerably, I mean, we are just in the dirt. I mean, there's just no other way to put it, that this volume is just abysmal. And it just keeps going down. This is one of my things when we took off right here. I had it originally on my charts, and I think it's still over on one of my other charts, how we started this trend up. And one of the issues we had was we just didn't see the volume follow through that we'd expected, even from this run. Take a look at this run here. We still had a pretty decent median line. So let's take a look. Here's this run right here. I mean, I would throw this right around in there, right? For the median of the volume, like the midline. I mean, you know, you're pretty high. You get a couple nice spikes up here, but it's kind of banging around in this area. Right, I just feel that, you know, you go over and you take a look at where we're at today, and I mean, it's just, I mean, geez, you know, I mean, let's just give it that, right? Let's give it that. That's like, there we go. Let's give it that right there. I mean, that's considerably lower for volume. That's really low for volume right there. And that was one of my issues when we started to take off on this little bounce. I mean, we bounced 1,000 points, right? We went from 5,700, 57 and change, all the way up to 67 and change, right? Almost 6,800. So this was a really nice little bounce. I mean, that was 1,000-point bounce right there, right? And let's take a look over here. You know, here's a good bounce. Here's a good bounce. Here's a good bounce. I mean, there's some good volume right here. There's good volume all in there. Even this bounce had some good volume in it. You know, you go way over here and look at this little teeny tiny candle right here, right? I mean, this was it. This was the big bounce we had right here. There's just no follow through. So this was definitely a disconcerting sign for me for a bearish. Now, you know, I was still looking at this. This is a possible, you know, retracement. I'm still kind of looking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I understand that if you're looking at this, it's kind of hard to peel out that this third wave if you do count this Elliott, and that's an issue. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to target. I mean, yeah, that's a tough one. This might have you do Elliott. This might be a little bit better. This is a pretty long wave 1 right here. So this is a pretty long wave 1 to get down here. I have a hard time counting this as a 5 wave because I don't really see the 3 wave in here. Where is the third wave? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. This just came up way too high right here to be. This is a tough one right here to count this as a third wave. I have an issue counting this as a third wave of a second wave of the subwave 3. This is a little. Now could you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Could you hit this as 5? This is possible, but then look at that. I mean, that's really hard for me to believe right there. That's really tough. This is just such an awkward, massive, big first wave. It's just a really tough one, right? And this sure can't be. Here's 1, there's 2. 3, 4. 5, right? Maybe. Kind of close. Yeah, Swad's good. Yeah, Swad does a really good count. Yeah, I know. I need to get Swad on here. Swad's a beast. Swad's in our group. He's in our Discord group. He's amazing with Elliott. So I just, I do have to kind of put my Elliott hat on and try to see if I can easily piece this out and just make this a really easy count here. I can't. Excuse me, I have a hard time counting this out Elliott style. Now, let's go back to the easier trading style, my style, which is the vamp style, which is kind of a combination of everything. Pull the volume indicator off here. So here we are still stuck in this squeeze zone right here. So we broke loose, and wow, unbelievable. As I have pointed out over and over and over again, I mean, this is just this Kryptonite zone. Look at that. Look at this. Look at the candle. Let's take a look up here. So let's top left corner. The low was 64.51. How many times have I pointed out that the Kryptonite zone is 64.50? How many times have I put that on my chart? I have named this. It has got a name now that I have named. It's called the Kryptonite zone, and it is 64.50, and it is just right down to the T. We missed it. It was $1. It's a whole dollar, $1.09, 90 cents off, almost $2 off. But came down, just got absolutely rejected there on that support level. Now, this is a bearish candle. This is a really unknown candle to me. I mean, this is still very neutral to me. This is a bearish candle. So here's bearish. So we had this long line candle that came in with with an inside bar. We then saw this fall out. It fell right into the 12-hour golden cross. The 12-hour golden cross kicked it to the moon. It rejected it down. So now we're sitting in a really good layup of a trade. So I entered a short all the way up here. So my short is all the way up here. Here, actually, the first shorts you should have got in were all the way up here. So the people that have been following me for a few days, you should be in a short right now. You should be chilling in your short all the way up here, 67.50-ish. Some of the members are up at 6,700, and so they got into the shorts up here. I did have and do have, I don't have many more, but I had shorts that were layered higher. So right now we are just completely right back into the squeeze zone. So we knew this was going to drop out. It did drop out. It hit the 6450 kryptonite zone. It bounced back. And we once again are in the pimple pop and squeeze zone right here. Okay? So we are exactly into the squeeze one more time. And, you know, this, like I said, the 7 has been tested. It has been broken. I think the 7 will get tested again. If we wind up below this, I have a feeling that it will be another 30 days of doom and gloom. If we get above this, it will be 30 days of sunshine. Okay? So we are in a really, really, really good place right now to make money. And let's not just think about making money today or tomorrow. But I'm telling you, if this breaks whatever direction it breaks in, this just seems to follow that 6 pattern, the 6th of the month. So if this breaks up, I would look for this to be bullish for 30 days. If this breaks down, the same thing. I would look for this to be bearish for 30 days. I would hope that we can just finish this damn drop already. There's nothing right here. Can anybody give me any reason why they think that we should end right now? Why do you think we should end this bear drop? I mean, there's no technical reason. There's no fundamental reason. There's just no reason we should be. There's no fundamental reason. There's no world news reason. There's nothing that we should end this bear run and just go on some massive bull run right now. Now, if you remember, we had the short squeeze thing that happened. That's what got us out of the last one, right? So let's pull up that chart real quick. Let's pull up the short squeeze chart. All right, let me go here. I'm going to pull up the shorts chart. Here we go. So here's my short chart. So if you guys remember, the last time we were in this position, right? We were right here. So this is the last time when we were going to dump. Let me get this back over here. Oh, it's not going to line up. It's okay. Oh, hold on. That's why. Let's pull this to the day. There we go. Hold on a second. Let me get this chart lined up. All right, there we go. So the last time that we were down here in the bottom, we had that short squeeze. Look at where the RSI was for the short squeeze. So we were so insanely oversold on our RSI. It was crazy. The shorts were at just into the moon. Seriously, if you could have just pulled along on the shorts, you would have made a killing. That's what we need to create. We need to create that. We need to create a long trade for the shorts, right? That thing just went to the moon. This thing, I mean, our shorts literally just mooned over this period right here. Just crazy. So we got this short squeeze. Now, here's where we're at today. We are almost in the reverse situation of the short squeeze. So our RSI is completely tanked down here. So look at, see, we've made this cup, right? We've got a cup formed here. I've always had this. I'm watching this. I still think we're going to get a handle that's going to pop up here, right? I still have this as my target. This target box is sitting up here. I'm not going to move this target box. It's still up there. And I still feel we're going to get one more pop up, and then that'll be the bottom, and then hopefully that'll be the bottom, and then we can start to get a, you know, just level off, and we can start to finally start living some crypto life again with some real bullish moves, because this has been a, you know, since January. We're 6 months into this thing, almost 7 months into this thing. 7-month bear market, right? So we cannot be saved right here by a short squeeze. It's just not going to happen. We're not going to be saved by a short squeeze right here. All right, let's break down into our chart. I'm going to pull this chart up real quick. So here was my chart right here on this this rising wedge we had. So we had this rising wedge. I had it like that. So you had A, B, C, D, E, and then we just fell out of the wedge right there. So we came down, fell out of the wedge, and then when you zoomed in, we had the, let's pull it down to the 4 hour. There you go. There's the 4 hour chart. So taking a look at the 4 hour chart, wind it up, came down, and now we're slowly dropping. And this is a really odd looking drop right here. I mean, this is just, this is really weird. Look at the 4 hour chart. This is a really weird candle setup. Look at this candle setup right here. Fell out, landed on the Kryptonite zone. Look at that. So this candle wicked at 64.46, bounced off the Kryptonite zone. So where this would be considered a dead cat bounce. Bounced back up, made a bullet bearish candle, bearish spinning top, followed by a bearish hanging man. Plunged down again, 64.50. Pounced right again a second time off. So we've tested 2 times. Actually, we've tested 1. Here we go. Let's see here. We've tested 1, 2, 3. And then this one bounced off with a huge, this came off with a big bounce. Came back down, bounced off the Kryptonite zone. Dead cat bounce off the Kryptonite zone. And we're sitting right here. So we're sitting right at, so we got another bounce right off the Kryptonite zone. So I'm watching this to see the strength of these bounces. So you can see this came down, really strong bounce, right? Weaker bounce, weaker bounce, weaker bounce. Now, can we get back up here? Can we break this high? You know, this right now, the bulls have to break this 65.57 to get a bounce higher than they've had, right? Because I see this is just kind of a bouncing ball, bouncing lower, bouncing lower, bouncing lower, and we're now bouncing lower. So let's watch this candle as it forms out. There's 3 hours and 31 minutes left in this candle. If this creates another spinning top like it's sitting right now, that would be ugly. There's probably a couple different options. I mean, this thing could come up. There's a lot of different options here, but it really needs to show the strength to go up past 65.58 on the 4 hour chart, right? So let's see how that sits us. Let's reduce this. Okay, we don't need this chart. So 65.58, let's throw a line right here and see where is 65.58. 65.58 is right here. I'm going to make that a little thinner, excuse me. I don't want to make it red. Let's make it, yeah, let's make it white. All right, so here's where the 65.58 is. So what needs to happen is the bulls need to break this 50 MA. All right, so you've got the 50 MA above us. It is now acting as resistance. Let's see if there's any other resistance in this area. We're going to pull this down to the 12-hour chart. Where is our support and our resistance? It is right here. There it is. We're right on it. So if you zoom in right here, so we've got body, body, body. Move all the way across. You've got body, body, wick, body. And then right here, we're sitting right here where we're at right now. So this is a 12-hour candle. And let's see what this candle's forming up as. Wow, this is a pretty crazy candle right here. So now on the 12-hour chart, you have the 65.58. It has now got resistance from the 7-hour. So there's the 7-hour 7 MA right there. So your 7 MA is literally holding it down. And you've got support right now. You've got resistance right there on top of that 7 MA. And right here you've got a pretty strong line that's running across here. If you're looking at your TD counts, you've got really no calls here. I mean, you did just flip to a red 1. So you are in a red 1 here. You basically just flip back and forth. You went 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 1. So you're kind of in the cyclical pattern. Can we pull some kind of a B, C, D? Can we get some kind of a wedge out of this? Can we get some kind of a triangle out of this? A short one, not really seeing it. You know, all I see is that larger wedge that we had in the other chart that came up, and we've actually fallen out of it. So we fell out of the wedge. So we have a lot of resistance at the 65.58. This is really where the bears got to break out to make a new higher high on the 4-hour chart. It's going to be a little, you know, is it possible? Sure, it's possible. You know, here's the other issue. This is creating on the 12-hour chart a rising wedge. So this is creating a rising wedge. Let's pull this down to the 6-hour chart, see what we got cooking. On the 6-hour chart, this just looks like a mess. I mean, that's all this looks like. This just looks like a total mess. Like if this candle would have closed for me on the 6-hour chart, I probably would have gone long on this possible candle. I would have gone long on this candle. That was a pretty good hanging man. It should have had a lot more oomph to kick out of this. This should have been a lot more bearish. This was a very bearish candle. This was a bullish candle. I mean, I probably would have pulled a long. I'm already in, and let's take a look and see. Okay, so 4-hour, you can see, one other thing you can see is here's a rising wedge, fell out. It's trying to make another rising wedge. It's probably going to try to fall out again. And that's what you see here. You see bounce up. So you got this big bounce here, right, that came from low. So you got a big bounce to here, and then it's losing velocity slowly. So you got the second bounce to here, and then you got the third bounce to here, and it's kind of just lost steam. So if you look at each one of these legs up, it's getting weaker and weaker and weaker. And now here you had this one. So this one now came down to a new low, right? So this is just getting weaker, and it's trying to bounce again. So this is trying to bounce out over this, which it just keeps getting weaker and weaker and weaker. And yeah, so look, so you came here, bounced down, and then it got up here, bounced down, and it just couldn't get it back up. BTC needs some Viagra. On the 4-hour chart, you have closed below what is about to be a death cross. So we have a death cross right here that's forming on the 4-hour chart, and it's about to execute. You've got the white 30 MA and you've got the 7 MA, and they're just about to make this is going to be a death cross, okay? So if you are in a long trade right here, you need to be very careful. All right. This is a dangerous place to be in a long. If you are in a scalping position, you want to be careful because this will create a death cross. Let's go back and see if we can find another situation where there was a death cross. So here's a death cross on the 4-hour. So that death cross was on the 4-hour there. Here was a death cross on the 4-hour. So you see what happened. It did reject all the way down, but then it bounced back up. And then it fell back through. Golden cross, pushed up, failed. Look at this. So you had golden cross, bear cross, golden cross. So finally one of them worked. This one right here finally worked. So this bear cross, this is a bear cross, golden cross. It just flew through the moon. And then if you would have taken this trade right here, that would have been a good trade. So this is a dangerous time. Which one is this? What is this going to be? So let me tell you what, when you are on top, this is you really want to hesitate going long underneath a substantial hourly, like a higher time frame cross, whether or whatever direction it's going. You just got to be really careful in a trade like this, because if you are hedging along right here, you got to be careful. This is a death cross. It is going to cross in 3 hours and 23 minutes. No ifs, ands, or buts. This will be a death cross in 3 hours and 23 minutes. And we're going to have to see how the price reacts to that. Now, here's the thing. We just talked about this. Bounce, bounce lower, got up, bounced down. Now it's got a lot of resistance on top of it. If this is like I said, this looks like a dead cat bounce to me here. Dead cat bounce off the Kryptonite zone. Dead cat bounce of the Kryptonite zone. Dead cat bounce of the Kryptonite zone. And if this death cross hits, it's going to push us underneath the 64.50 line. We need to be really careful. This is closing in 3 hours and 22 minutes. Yeah, definitely need some Viagra. BTC, yeah, you got me there. BTC is pretty young. Pretty young to be using Viagra right now. But it definitely needs something. Okay. If this death cross does happen, we would be looking for it to get caught on these at 63.80ish, 63.90. So it will fall if this does dump down, if it pierces there, right here. We could, once this death cross happens, we would be looking for support at the 50 MA. And then there's the 100 MA. You know, the 100 MA is just really weird. It just doesn't seem like it does anything. I mean, it just, you know, here you see it came down and it kind of, it held the support here. But, I mean, it just kind of blows through it like butter still. I really don't have a lot of faith in the 100 MA. I have a lot more faith in the 200. There's the 200 on the 4 hours. The 200, which is a heavy resistance on the top side, is parked at 66.79. A lot of resistance right there. You've got a long way to go to get to there. You got to really break through this. Not feeling it. Not feeling it. Look, there's nothing. There's nothing below it. There's nothing below in the 4 hour to hold this up on the 4 hour. Let's go take a look at the 12 hour. Nothing below to hold it up. Let's go take a look at the daily. There it is. This is the only thing holding this up right here. 64.99. So, like I said, you've got to break lower, close, and open underneath this for this to be a break. All right. So, once again, if you are not in a position, there's no need to be into a position here. We are literally a day away from this crossing, not even a day. We're at 8 o'clock in the morning UTC time. We're gonna close this. This is gonna be an easy trade. This is one of those layup trades that we talk about. Let's just, you know, if you're not in a position right now, if you don't have a small position with a stop loss set really tight on both sides, you know, like this is just, this is nothing. So remember we talked about having your stop losses set on if you're in a hedge trade. So if you're in the hedge trade, your stop loss should have been, you could have been right here. So here's where your shorts stop loss would have been. Your short stop loss would have been at 65.85. If you wanted to set it looser, you could be at 66.18. This is looser. If you really want to be, you know, really go for the gusto and you really have a lot of confidence in this falling south, you can be all the way up to 66.75. Now you can ladder those shorts out. So you can say, okay, take 25% of my trade here, take 25 of it here, and as soon as we cross this line, take the rest of it. And then I'm out. Okay? This goes the same thing on the bottom. If you are in a long trade right now, So if you're on a long trade, you probably got stopped out. If you were in a long trade, this would have been your, you would have been below. Remember, you have to be below or above the MAs. So you'd have to be below. So you would have, the first one would be, if you're in a long here, you're going to have your stop. The super tight stop trade would be 64.73. And your loose trade would be either one of these right here. You'd be at 64.20. So, you know, this would be a more, this would probably be a better one right here. Just a touch under 64.15. This is the daily chart, so I'm on the daily chart. So on the daily chart, this is where you would set your stop losses on the bottom side and or the top side. Okay, did everybody get that? Pause. All right, so we've put a lot of time in on this chart, right? Let's go over and we're going to take a look at our bubble chart here. See where we're at. Okay. Okay, so we are about to get a cross on the. So we're about to get a cross on the MACD chart. So our MACD is about to cross. Now, when you do cross, that is very bad. That is not a bullish sign. That is a bearish sign. So this is about to cross. You're about to have a possible cross. This could pause. This is probably about less than 12 hours away where this would cross, right? So you're gonna. This would be definitely a bearish sign right here. We're gonna have to see what happens. We did go up. We hit the purple. We hit the pink circle. So as we go back historically, pink circle, drop, pink circle, drop, and then so here we are. We've kind of repeated history again, and we're just chilling right here, right below the pink circle. This is going to have to do one of these right here. This is going to have to do some kind of super nifty trick right here. I mean, you see, it's possible. You know, this could do some nifty trick, but it's kind of hard to change directions this high up. I mean, you see, it really doesn't change directions up here. Not healthy, anyways. So let's go and let's move to the higher time frames. I know this chart is really hard to see for you guys. If you're on YouTube, I apologize. Yeah, I know my charts are ugly. Oh, no, there's no possible way we can get a short squeeze here. There's impossible to get a short squeeze. Yeah, we just don't have enough. We definitely don't have enough. We don't have enough. There's not enough shorts right now to create a short squeeze. Remember, so if we go back over to our short squeeze, where's our shorts? There's just not enough. We're too low. We're down here in the middle area. The RSI is at the very bottom. It's almost impossible. If you're going to do anything, you're going to have a long squeeze. There's way too many longs. Yeah, layup. That's right. Wait for the layup trade. So, all right, so let's pull up a long trade. So I do have a long chart. Let's pull up our long chart really quick here. And we have it. We have a comparison. Here you go. Here's your longs versus shorts chart. Here's that chart right here. So here's your longs versus your shorts chart. Your shorts are way, way down. Your longs are way high. So look, here's the peak we've had for our longs. Look at this. Here you go. Look at how high up these longs are. And this is the RSI for the longs right here. And the RSI is in the danger zone for longs. So what could happen right now, all these people are long right here. If this thing takes a huge dump on us right now and spits out the bottom, right, this thing could get real, real ugly. You're going to snap those longs. All those longs are going to FOMO out and the price is going to just plummet. So everybody here thinks this is the bottom. All these people here. This is a lot of shorts. This is a really large accumulation of shorts that have happened in a very short time. Everybody's dumped their a very large accumulation of longs. Everyone has dumped their shorts. So you can see the RSI is extremely it's close. It's not in the oversold, but it was in the oversold for just a second. It went up and peaked the oversold, overbought conditions on the RSI chart for the longs. So if anything, I see a long squeeze happening here. I see a long squeeze. That's what I see. And there's my target down there. That's been there for a while. So there's that. All right, I've had that chart sitting there for a while. All right, but let's go over. I still want to do a little bit. So we did our bubble chart. I just want to do a quick comparison. So in the past, when we've had the bounces off, here was the last time we had the bounce off the pink zone. So we bounced off the pink zone, came down, came up, and then this tanked hard. Now it's hard to tell when you're not looking at it close. So this pink fall from here to here was 2,400 points. This is roughly a 24, just call it a 2,000 point fall, right? This is a 2,000 point fall to drop off this pink zone, right? Here it happened again. Now these are both on bull runs. This is a very small drop. I mean, this thing's like what? It's like nothing. It's 500 points, roughly 500 points. Okay. Now, if you look back in time over here, I see a bear cross. I'm sorry, a golden cross. So here was a golden cross. And there was no cross. Oh, yeah, here's a bearish cross. So you got this bearish cross right here. This death cross, that kick that just knocked the crap out of that right there for 1,000 points. So this 7 and 30 MA caused a 1,000 point drop. You know, we're in. So this is the 12-hour chart. So we're just, you know, right now on the 12-hour chart, you do have a lot of support underneath. You have the Kryptonite zone. You have at 6420, you have the your 50 MA. Then all the way down at 6,300, you've got your 30 MA. So you do have a lot of support layers in order to drop down here. All right. The bubble chart is just, man, it's accurate. You know, you may not like it. You may think it's ugly, but it is super, super accurate. And let's go take a look at something. I just want to show everybody really quick how over time what has happened. So, all right, so you see these green lines? See all these green lines right here? All of these green lines are the 6th. This is the 6th right here. Okay? So, this is the 6th. This is the 12th. Right? This is the 6th. This is the 12th. We've now hit the 6th, and the 12th is right here. So what you need to look at when you look closer is the 6s call the turnaround, right? They definitely call the turnaround. So you come down, you bounce on the 6. Here we are, we bounced off the 6, right? It's the 12th that really rockets us to the moon. So if you move this candle up, so move this aside, this from here, from the 12th, just is the rocket. So people think it's the 6th that we really take off. It's not. It's the 12th. So here you go. So see this white line right here? So, let me get rid of this. So if you look, this is the 12th right here, and this just takes off. This is what our rocket is. Our rocket is not the 6th. Our rocket is the 12th. So, you know, you don't have to FOMO. There's just no need to FOMO in or out of this trade because you do have a couple days to get into it. You know what I'm saying? You have a couple days to still get into this trade if it is a rocket. If this does take off on us, you've still got until the 12th to get in for a good buy. Okay. Is it possible that we head and shoulders on the Kryptonite zone? It's possible. It's totally possible. You know, there's a lot of, you know, I mean, we're just, I look at these as dead cat bounces right now on the Kryptonite zone. So, but what I'm looking for is let me get this down here. What I'm looking for is I want to line up this, I want to line up these dates. I think we can line up these dates right here. And I think it's totally possible that we line these dates up right here. And right here is the 6th. Whatever happens here is going to be very, very telling. So the last time we had the 6th was, let me pull up and let me find it, and it is right here. There was the 6th right there. So this was the 6th. And we're going to make this green. And clone. And look at that. And there's the 12th. So here's the 6th. The 6th started. But look at the 12th. The 12th starts the major drop. Every single time. It's like clockwork. 6 starts it, 12 finishes it. 6 starts it, 12's the rocket. It's like 6 is the gas, or 6 is the, it's like the 6 seems to happen is like the match, and then the gasoline, when it hits the gasoline, that's the 12th. So let's go over here and let's find the 6th over here. And there it is. Okay, so the 6 is right here. So there's the 6th. Now let's go line up the 12th. I already know where it's at. Oh, no, no, no. So look here. So this definitely started later. So this definitely, so this started, here was the 6th right here. This was the 12th right here. So this drop definitely took off sooner than the 12th. So we did have a differential right there of about a day, 2 days. There's 2 day difference, 3 day difference from when the real heavy drop started to take place. Let's zoom in really quick here and see what happened with our MAs on this time. So here's when the 6th was. So we did have a death cross on the 12 hour. You see, it was a real, it did death cross. It broke back up. And this just looks like some games right here. I mean, this would have been a great trade. You would have got stomped out. And then it crossed again right here. So there's a death cross again. So it made a death cross, and then it made a second death cross back to back. All right, now we're up here. So we made we traded this. Remember, we all traded this. This was easy. We all traded this right here. This was easy. So these were all easy trades. We all made money on this if you're following me. So right now, just unfortunately, there's just a lot of differences. So look, here we bounced off and then we hit the 6th. Here we bounced off early and we hit the 6th. Here we bounced, and we see, take a look here. We came in early. We have a nice bounce. It came all the way down to the 6th, and then it took off like a rocket. Well, it took off and then it took off again. Man. Here was harder to take off because we had all of these MAs above us. Here is going to be harder to drop because we have all these MAs below us. you know, the bubble chart just says it's going down. You know, the bubble chart just says it's going down. I mean, every time it hits this line and it's rejected off this line, it's been a dump. You know, and can it be a small dump like this, where it's a 500-point dump, and then we take off? It's totally possible. But man, these charts are just, the bubble charts are just too damn good. All right, let's go over and take a look at our RSI chart real quick here. Peel this baby off. All right, here we go. Here's our RSI chart. Once again, you got, you know, the pink circles. Here you go, the rejection, pink circle rejection. So you do have, historically, the pink circles have worked. The pink line has worked. It has been a dump line. So the pink circles are dumps. The red circles are just rejections. So now we came down. This is a bounce line. So this is this blue line right here. You see this? It's actually a white line where the blue circle is. So this blue circle area does have a lot of confluence in it. It does have, so here you go. You have the pink circle. It came up, bounced, came down, hit the blue circle, and then it rocketed back up, right? So this right here was actually a second top, and then this top was a massive drop. So this was January, February, March. Sometime in March. Let's take a look at when that drop was. Yeah, so that was right here. So you can see this bounce lines up with this right here, and this thing just tanked. This was the 11.6 zone. So we came up here, hit 11.6, and then we tanked back down. Look, we couldn't even make it up that high. And another thing that you need to look at is, let's take a look. I want to show you one other chart that is a really telling chart. Let me see what I got here. Give me a second. Nope. Here we go. Kill the indicators. Give me 1 second. I just want to add something on here. I have this on one of my other charts. All right, so this is an issue. Anytime we have been below the 50 range on the RSI, it has been a bearish market, okay? Pull this off. Okay, anytime we have been below the 50, it has triggered a bearish move, right? It puts us into a bearish market for sure. You break above the 50, you're good. The second you hit below this 50, you know, you're just done. It's just all this is sub 50. We are teetering just under the 50. I mean, we're so close. We're at 47. We came up and we literally touched it, 50.299. Right? And this is there's nothing you can do. It's just a historic thing. It's a pretty easy tell. I'm going to pull the TD off here. So anytime, so here's it goes. So let's look at the 50. So here you broke the 50 and this tanked. You know, it's hard to go back, though, and find a time when we came up and turned on the 50. That's an issue. That's something that's hard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull back here. Let me snap another line. Let's go all the way back. I'm going to go deep. All right, let's go deep. There we go, 2014. All right. So this line right here, let's take a look at this. So when is the last time we came up and got rejected from the bottom, got rejected off of the 50? Here's one, came up, got rejected. So there's one. Nope. 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 Shot over. Shot over. Shot over. Real close. Real close. Real close right there. Got rejected right there real close. This is the only one I can find. This is the only one that's kind of lines up with that getting rejected from the 50 right here. You know. Just a really crappy place to trade, you know. I mean, that's it. There's just this, I mean, we're right on the cusp of making a bullish move. I mean, so close to making a bullish move. All it's got to do is just get over this 50 and we're going to get a bull run. You know, there's just, it's every time. There's every time you get over the 50, you get a run. Every single time. Let's see here. Let's go back. Right, where is that rejection at? Where is it? Where is it? Here it is right here. This is it right here. Okay, so we came up, we hit the 50, we got rejected, and then it tanked pretty good. How about these other ones? This one came up, peaked over, shallow. Let's take a look in the bear market. This has had, okay, so here we go. So this came up, tapped. It's a pretty mean little drop right there, you know. This one came up right here, so this is this. So this came up and this, you know, was okay. Here was a lot of weakness. So this is kind of what we're worried about. We need to stay away from all of this sub 50, and if this just takes a nosedive and starts heading down, this is where we really get into a lot of trouble, sub 50. And this is what I'm looking for. You know, we just had this discussion at one the other day. Pika is the one who brought it up. Pika sent, good job, buddy. That was a great chart. Okay. RSI, once again, the bubble chart on the RSI called this absolutely perfect. Oops, sorry. The bubble chart called this perfect. If you were merely just trading off of the bubble chart, you'd be way up. I mean, it's called the tops. It's called everything. It called the breakthrough. We hedged this. The chart called it. We made money. We bounced here. The chart called it. We bounced here. This was actually way down here in the blue line, and then it kicked all the way back up. Now, we are on a bounce circle. So once again, this is the issue. This is where we're at. This is why I say you don't need to FOMO into a trade right now, because we haven't picked a team. We haven't picked a direction. Right? We haven't picked a direction. We're sitting here. We're trapped. We're trapped right in here. You do not have to get into a trade. This is going to be a layup trade as soon as this breaks one way or the other. Because if this breaks up, the good news is our RSI is going to break up over 50. That's going to be bullish. If we break up out of this cross, turns it into a golden cross, we are going to be bullish. If it breaks lower, we are going to break lower than the 50. This is a bear sign. This is, now it turns it into a death cross. So this is a great thing. Here's the thing. This is a perfect position to make money. And this is why. Because with our RSI dead center in the middle, right? It's got a long way to go up. It's got a long way to go down. And that's all we care about. That long run up and that long run down is going to be a good swing trade for us. No matter what way it goes, we know we're ready for this trade right here. We're ready when this pops. It's either going to pop up or it's going to pop down. And we got time. You don't have to FOMO into this right now. You got a couple days. If this pops up, You got a couple days. It's gonna move. It's gonna go. It's gonna go big. People are gonna FOMO, whatever. But then you still got time. You still got time. You've seen in the charts the real dump doesn't take place till a couple days later. Okay? So there's no need to go crazy and FOMO into this trade right now. All right, let's take a look at our other charts. We're going to reduce this back down. That's it. You know, I really don't think we have... I mean, there's nothing. There's nothing. The 12-hour chart, you know, we've gone over all of them. We've gone over every single chart. Every single chart is now the bubble charts. This bubble chart, the RSI, the MACD bubble chart says we're going down. All right. The RSI bubble chart says we can bounce right here. If we bounce, we're going to bounce right here. Now look at this gap. There's nothing. There's nothing in here. So if this bubble chart, if this does break to the bottom, this RSI chart is breaking south, and it's got a long way to go. All right, it's got a harder way to go up. It's got less resistance going down. All right, let's take a couple questions. That 1 hour doesn't look great, crypto mess. You know what, guys, I try to not go down to the hourly charts. We can do it though. We can run down to an hourly chart right now. Let's go take a peek. Yeah, the candles just aren't doing, I mean, just all I see is bearish candles. I'm not seeing any bullish candles on any of the timelines. This is spinning top here. Bearish. Pull a 4 hour. I mean, this was a, you know what I'm going to do? Let's pull this up. So this candle right here, you know, now that we're below the MAs, this is, like I said, this is 2 hours and 52 minutes from a death cross. On the 4 hour chart, that does not look good. All bearish candles. Let's go down to the 1 hour chart. Rising wedge. It's got a little support sitting here on the, so you had the spinning top, which is a great reversal candle. So this is perfect. So here you had a hanging man. This is good. Then you had the spinning top. This is a hard candle to trade right here. This is a tough candle. This spinning top though was an easy one. Then you had you went up. Now this looks like it's making a doji candle. It closes in 51 minutes. If this does make a doji right here, it will dump again. All right, would the 10th suit better for the drops in May and June? Yeah, you know what? It's a couple days earlier, James, for sure. Good job, man. Good job going back in the charts and looking. That's great. Good. That's what I want you guys to do. I find it. You guys confirm it. Now you can see what to look for the next time you guys are looking. You know, you're in your trades. Is it time to meet up in Vegas? We are looking to do a meetup in Vegas. We're going to do a crash course seminar. We're going to be in Vegas. We're trying to plan it out for the end of October, maybe beginning of November. The weather will be perfect. So the weather will be perfect. We're probably going to have a bunch of people there. We're going to have a bunch of TA guys there. You know, it'll be fun. We're going to probably do everything at the Vidara. It's right inside the Aria. So we're probably going to get, you know, probably do like 20, 30 people and just do a hardcore dive-in session teaching people how to trade. It's a lot harder when you do it like this. It's easier if you get on one-on-one and we're sitting together and we're talking and we're really showing you guys one-on-one. When we do our one-on-ones for our group, our paid group, it's great. We're using Discord, so we're able to use the screen share. That helps. It does make the training go a little faster, but nothing compares to one-on-one. I run RSI or MACD bubble chart you found more accurate. Seems kind of conflicted in this area. Yeah, let's go take a look. Yes. So if you look here, I mean, you can see the MACD's got a way to go till it hits its next zone. Right, till it hits the next zone right here, and really a far drop below that. I mean, there's a little bit of resistance in here, and then this thing kind of really tanks. where here, if we do break this, I mean, there is a long way to go here, but we are on this blue circle line, which has historically held before. So yeah, you know, what I don't like is I don't like the fold over. I don't like this right here. This is about to roll over on this. And look, this is, you know, let's see what happens here. This is trying to roll over. This rolling over is not good. All right, let's take a look. Let's see last time. Let's take a look at the rollovers, okay? So historically, let's see what happens. So here you came up, you rolled over, bad. You came up, you rolled over, bad. You came up, you rolled over, bad. You came up, you rolled over. You know, I mean, this was a dive, but then the price action went up, right? So this is all price action up. Now you rolled over again here, and this was bad. Rolled over again here, and you know, these are just, when you roll over, it is no, it just is not good. Rolling over is not good. And we're rolling over practically all the way to the top. That's another issue. You know, you're rolling over way up here. Look, I have all these alarms set. So you are rolling over way up here, deep. So all these alarms, they were for my when I traded that long, when it broke the white line. So that was my long position pull alarm. I was a bit skeptic about joining another paid group, but I've been a member. Oh, nice, crypto. Thank you. I've learned more in 2 days than I did from the other groups in 2 months. Dude, that's awesome. Thank you very much. We are really trying. You know, we are over here working our butts off. I mean, we really are. We're working our butts off. We're not sleeping much. I did hedge at 6,500. My long, Blue Bone. Let's take a look what Blue Bone said. Blue Bone said I did hedge 6,500. My long got stopped out at 64.68. My short's a bit underwater now. I'm scared that my short stop also hits and I'm going to take a huge loss. Okay, hold on a second. My long got stopped out. My short is a bit underwater now. I'm scared that man, what kind of leverage are you using? What kind of leverage are you using, Blue Bone? So let's take a look at where we're at. All right, let's pull this up. So listen, guys, I always tell you guys, I do not trade high leverage. I'm a 3x trader, 5x when I'm seeing a really good trade. Right, and your stop loss, I don't know how you got, let's go here, let's pull up the daily. All right, pull this up. Where is my chart with our arrows on it? There we go. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, Blue Bones. So if you were in a trade right now, you should have been in your short at 65.28. So you should have been in your short at 65.28. Your long got stopped out at 64. Yep, your long should have got stopped out 64.60. Yep, that's pretty good. Yep, that was good. That was a good place to get your long stopped out. But your short is underwater. How's your short underwater and your long is not? You should have done them both at the same time. So if you should have been both at the same time. They should have been both at 65.35. You should still be positive in your long. Jesus Lord. Whew. Man, guys, easy on that. Remember, guys, okay, how many times do I tell you guys, you ladder in your trades. I just did a whole video on this, right? 10, 25, 50, 10, 10, 10, 25. You guys have got to start laddering your trades in. Stop going all in. Going all in, listen, we told you this is a dangerous place right here. We've all warned you guys this is a very dangerous place. We said the safe place to trade is once this pops, right? It's in, if you just go here in my YouTube, if you just go into YouTube, you'll see all the videos. And there's a video, actually I just uploaded the other one too but there's a whole how to trade video. It's called No FOMO. It's a FOMO one. Yeah, but listen, everybody, we do not go all in and all out on trades. This is why, you know, if you're in our group, you know, people should not be getting liquidated. You guys are learning how to trade. You're learning how to ladder in and ladder out. All right, anybody got any other questions? It's been a pretty long video. You don't stop loss for each ladder, correct? Yeah. So what you do is when you're laddering in and out of your trades, and I have this in the other video, you can also ladder out your trades. You can ladder out stop losses. Okay. Okay, so yeah, Rob. So when you're hedging a trade, guys, what I did is I longed ETH for a massive single ETH. Dude, it was hilarious. It was really funny. It was me and Teklo, and we were laughing. I'm all, dude, come on, let's long 5 ETH, and he's like 5. It was dumping out at that point. I said, he's like, dude, I'm only doing 1 ETH because it's dumping. I'm like, come on, have some balls. Long 5. So we only longed 1 ETH. I'll screenshot it for you guys. It was funny. I'm for sure I'm stopped out. But you long ETH and you short. So the best thing to do in this situation would have been to short EOS and long BTC or long ETH. You're going to get a higher return out of it. You think this is going to go in. So if you think this is going to pop up, you want the highest percentage coin as your first pick. So when I look at this, I say, okay, this is a tougher position right here because the 7MA sucks. It's weak, right? The 7MA is weak. So I would rather trade out of the downside of this, but when I look at this, I have to factor in the Kryptonite zone as support. So this Kryptonite zone turns this 7MA at least into the equal of the 30, if not the 50, right? So this is, you got to take all these factors into account right here when you're looking at this. I factor in the candles, I factor in the MAs, I factor in the support below, I factor in the support above. I factor all these things into before I go into my trade, right? And that's the key. This, you know, one of the things I said, we've got to definitely, you guys have just got to learn how to trade smarter, and trading smarter is not FOMOing in. Remember, in my whole video I said you do not have to be in a position. Just wait. Whatever way this goes, this is going to be a layup trade. We should have a really good opportunity to do a layup trade. And yeah, you can do 2 accounts. I don't like doing 2 accounts. I think it's too hard, especially if you just get, you know, going from one, unless you got 2 iPads open or a computer in your iPad or whatever. I think it's hard going between 2. You guys have got to have some skill to be a trader using 2 accounts open at the same time. You know, a lot of our guys do. You have that scalp account and then you have the swing account. So a lot of our people do have that. Yeah, never go all in. Nico, do you guys ladder in? I'm never more than 75 or 80% all in. I'm usually maxed out at 80%. I can't even remember when I was a noob trader, when I first started trading. Dude, I was all in, all out, all in, all out, all in, all out, and I just lost so much money doing that because you FOMO. You FOMO when you get your whole position at risk. You FOMO. When you've only got a fraction of your position at risk, you don't FOMO. It like grows your man balls, right? It makes your man balls bigger when you're just, I only got 20% of my position at risk, and you know you've got a little room, you know you got wiggle, you know you're not getting liquidated, you know you can sleep on that kind of position with a good stop loss.